Welcome to Nifty 50 Photographers. I'm Richard Gill, I'm a professional photographer. Today's video I'm going to go through 5 things that every photographer needs in his bag. Let's get started straight away. So the first thing I would recommend you carry is a tripod. It means if you need to do those longer exposure shots, you've got a nice stable way of holding your camera, but it's also helpful for composition. Now, I carry a pretty lightweight carbon fiber tripod. It's from Three Legged Thing. There's a link in the description below, and so it's not too much hassle to carry that around with me. The second thing I would recommend is a prime lens. Now if you've got a full frame camera, then you probably want a 50mm as your first prime lens, something of that focal length. If you've got a crop sensor camera, you'll probably find that a 35mm lens is a better prime for you. But as you get more and more into your photography and you realize what great image quality you get from prime lenses, and you probably want to expand your range and you get something longer. So for example, I have a 90mm lens which also has a macro function. I have a 35mm and a 55mm, and that's pretty much all I need to cover all my requirements with prime lenses. The third thing I would recommend is some filters, and I carry with me 3 in particular. So I carry 2 ND filters. One is a 6-stop, one is a 10-stop. You could make your life easier by getting a variable ND filter. They're probably not quite as sharp, but it's a good way of being able to alter your exposure, especially if you do things like wave painting, long exposures like that. And if you want a top tip to save you money on buying filters, I buy filters that are all 77mm diameter, because that's the largest size of my largest lens, the mounting size on the largest lens I've got. And then I just use adapter rings. Now adapter rings are only literally a couple of pounds, a couple of dollars, so they're very cheap to buy, and it means I can then use those filters on all my lenses. The next thing, item number 4 I'd recommend, is you carry a flash gun. Flash guns are great for helping things like give you some fill flash in interior photos, but also great for portraits, getting some fill onto faces and so on, and helping you to cope with the ambient light conditions. The one I use is from Godox. It's one that is compatible with my Sony A7 IIIs, and it allows me to use TTL and all the other flash functions that I would need. The final thing, number 5, is what I call my goodie bag, and in that I have all the other accessories that I might need to help me on a photo shoot. So the kind of things I carry with me are some cleaning equipment, a sensor brush, a blower, some cleaning swabs, but I also carry spare batteries, spare memory cards, and a couple of little tools just in case I need to tighten up something on a tripod, for example, or change a mounting bracket, something like that. They're all very useful things to have along. Now I'll put some links for some of the key things in the description if you want to go and get your own. And I would recommend what you do next, take a look at my video on 7 tips to get the most out of your tripod. I'll put a link up here, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.